Hey guys, Nick Howell here with NetApp, tech marketing engineer for the VMware space. And in the last of this series of videos, we're going to go over backup and recovery. Some of you may formerly know this product as SMVI or Snap Manager for Virtual Infrastructure. Since the VSC 2.0 days and beyond, it has been baked into the VSC. So if you're still using that older standalone version, yeah, it's kind of been deprecated. It's not downloadable anymore, and the documentation is only there because they have to maintain support for it. So it's not being further developed. It's not being enhanced in any way. Come on over to the VSC version. Go grab a copy of the VSC from the Now site, and you'll see a lot of enhancements that have been made, including support for more higher level versions of data on tap, including our newest cluster mode stuff. As of VSC 4.1, we do support cluster mode. That's one of the biggest enhancements of the new VSC. One thing I do want you to note in this video is that I do have a virtual machine powered on. We have turned it on for the specific scenario where we want to highlight backing up live virtual machines without ever taking them down. The first thing we need to do is come in here and add a storage controller. It needs to understand where data on tap lives, that it can quiesce certain things. For this example, I'm going to be doing a cluster mode vServer, which allows you to go straight to one of many vServers and grab any data stores and or virtual machines that are in them. Give that a second, goes out and grabs info, and it's done. You've got a couple of other options down here. You can trigger an auto support every time a job runs, and all those sorts of things. We're going to come back to this section in a little bit, but now that we've got our storage controller added in there, I want to come out and show you some of the instant integrated menu instant backup functionality here. We can back up an individual virtual machine, or we can come to a host. What host was that on? ESX1. So let's go to ESX1, and let's go to the NFS to backup data store, and literally right here in the host screen, we can right click, do backup recovery, and click backup now. So we're going to call it Nick DS backup for data store. A couple of other options here. You can leave automatically named selected if you don't really want to manage a bunch of different names. This will append prefixes and suffixes to the name of the snapshots on the storage side, so that if you have separate storage admins, or even you yourself are managing the storage as well, you'll know what those snapshots are related to. In addition, you can also initiate a SnapMirror update if this volume that you're backing up, which would be NFS2 backup here, has an existing SnapMirror relationship. At the end of the job, we can trigger a SnapMirror update. But we don't have that in this lab. We are going to leave perform VMware consistency snapshot checked. That quiesces the virtual machine or any virtual machines that are inside this data store before we snapshot them. So we literally just hit backup now. You'll see what happens is it creates a master task called create backup. We're going to create the virtual machine snapshot, which is the native VMware functionality. That's completed. Right now it's taking a storage-based snapshot on the back end, naming it appropriately, and now it's doing the native remove VMware snapshot process. And since this one's very small, no I/O, it's just an XP VM. And it's done, and we should see this workflow finish. And there we go. So now if we jump down to the backup and recovery and we look at, it's kind of tricky. You have to go into your restores to see which are available. Do a refresh, and there it is in there for us to restore from. So we can restore either the individual virtual machine or the entire data store. So let's go back to that view again. And that time we did it against the data store, but what if we wanted to back up just the individual virtual machine? Well, we can do that too. It's going to do a similar workflow. We'll just call it Nick VM backup. Same settings, backup now. Again, it's going to do a create backup master process. It's going to create a native VMware snapshot. Done. Create some stuff on the back end, take your snaps on the volume, and it's removing the native VMware snapshot right now. And it's finishing up here. And we're done. And if we go back to backup and recovery and look at the restore, and we'll refresh it, now we have 2. Now you notice that since we only did a VM, I only have the VM listing here, whereas when I did the data store, it's going to have the whole data store as well as any VMs that are inside of it. And you can selectively choose to restore individual virtual machines by right-clicking on them right there. Excuse me. So what if we wanted to get a little more structured about this? If we go into the backup section, we can click add, and we can create a backup job. Now this will go against anything we want to do. Same kind of settings here. We're going to leave these set just as the consistency snapshot. And we have a dropbacks down here called entities. And these are typically data stores or entire data centers that are inclusive of all your data stores. We're going to choose this one data store that has this one VM in it, and we're going to toggle it over there. Click next. This screen allows you to do pre and post scripting. So there are scripts that you can create that you can drop into specific folders within the VSC installation structure. And if you have some of them in there, they will populate in here. Their names will be in here, so you'll be able to put them in. We don't have any, so we're going to move right along. And this is where we do our scheduling. Daily. Let's do it 2 a.m. And let's say we're going to start it. I guess you guys can tell when I'm making this video. We're going to start it on January 1st of 2013. There. New Year's. We're going to start on New Year's. This gives you the option to do a little bit of RBAC control. So if you've got a larger enterprise that has backup operators, or that's all that they do is they manage backups for 8 hours a day, you can certainly create customized vSphere accounts, vCenter accounts, or you can just use the defaults, which is who you're currently logged in as. Now, please be aware that when you create these jobs, it's creating the jobs, and the jobs will run with the credentials that you are logged in as at the time of the job creation. I hope that makes sense. Let me say it one more time. If you use the default vCenter credentials option here, it is going to run the job daily, whatever schedule you set. It's going to run the job and execute the job as the user that created the job. So if you want to run it as someone else, that's where you stop here and go create a special vCenter account and use it. Otherwise, just use the defaults. If you have any questions about that, drop them in the comments below under the video. It's a little tricky, I understand. Here we're going to pick our retention periods, maximum number of days. Most people will either do 30 or something like 7. Or you can select maximum number of backups, or you can select that they never expire and you'll just continuously surmount backups until you run out of storage space. Sometimes that's useful in a very few niche places, financial, legal, healthcare, those kinds of things. But most people it's 30 days. Some people see 7 days, that sort of thing. We'll go with 7 for right now. This allows you to do email alerts here. All you need is an SMTP host, your source email address, which you can make up, and your destination, which needs to be real because you really want to receive it. I see a lot of people putting in help desk, generic help desk email addresses right here, so that when it emails it out, it goes into the help desk and automatically generates a ticket for the backup admins to take a look at. So you have the option here of to always notify for successes and failures, or you can only notify on failures or warnings, or you can never notify. It's up to you. We're going to leave that stuff the way it is and click next. And here's where we get a nice summary. Gives you what VMs are going to be backed up based on what data store we chose. and you have the checkbox here to run the job now if you wish. So click Finish, and there we have our backup job. So let's go through a quick restore. Let's go out to our VM that we have running. Let's pop the console open real quick. And here we have just a regular XP VM. I'm just going to drop a text file on it for a second and call it important data. Super secure stuff, right? So now I'm going to go... Let me close that actually. Go back up here, and I'm going to take a backup of it. NetApp. Backup now. Important data. Backup. Right. Backup. So it's going to take a VMware snapshot to quiesce the OS. Done. Now it's going to take the storage snapshot. Done. Now it's going to remove the VMware snapshot. And done. Finishing up. Okay. Open our console back up. And oops. And empty. And oops. Somebody deleted our important data. Crap. Alright. Well, we've got to get that back, right? Right click, NetApp, restore. Important data backup. I do want to restart the VM and leave it on that host. This gives you an option to particularly place it on a specific host if you like, which is pretty neat. It comes in handy in certain times. And we're going to click Next, and we're going to click Finish. So the first things first, it powered off the virtual machine. It's going to go out and grab the snapshot, restore the storage snapshot back up to the virtual machine. This all happens very, very fast. It's going to reload the VMDK inside the virtual machine, and it's going to power it back up. Sorry for the delay here. I just wanted to be honest. I don't like videos that get sped up. You can't always depend on home lab environments to be the fastest things in the world, but here we go. It's reverting the snapshot back. Removing the snapshot. And it should be powering the VM back on. There we go. So compare this process to how long it would take you to call Iron Mountain, schedule them to bring a tape back. That alone would probably take you 4 hours. Get them to bring the tape back, find a tape drive that can load the tape, re-inventory your library, open up your software and get it to recognize the older tape, find which backup job you need, get the backup software to open up and do all of those things to restore this virtual machine. And we just did that entire process in, what is that, 2 minutes? 2 minutes and 10 seconds? And the VM's booting back up. So this is a very heavily nested, slow ESX environment or lab environment. You're seeing these boot times on these tiny VMs take forever, but I'm still guaranteeing you that I'm running circles around what the traditional backup methodology would be. Or should I say the traditional restore methodology would be. And I'm really hoping we have a text file named important data on the desktop. Yay, and we do. So there you have it. Near instant snapshot backups of data stores and virtual machines while they're powered on. Restores of virtual machines in a matter of just over 2 minutes in a heavily nested lab environment. And fully scheduling any of your jobs to run. All within the vSphere client. All within the NetApp Virtual Storage Console. Please check it out. Give it a shot. Let us know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching, guys. Enjoy.